Took the screen. Back to Boston. Mismatch against Aliyah Gray, and she buried it. Biggest lead of the night. And it's taken away by who else? Mitchell. Lexie Hall buried it to beat the buzzer. The flourish at the end of the third quarter for Indiana in a game they have to win, and they're up 15.
The refs couldn't steal this one. After all the chaos of Game 1's questionable officiating, the Indiana Fever stormed Gainbridge Fieldhouse and never looked back, dominating the Atlanta Dream in a defensive showcase in Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs. It was their first playoff win in nearly 10 years, with Caitlin Clark watching from the sidelines. Yet, with 5 players missing, this victory was more than just another result. It was proof the Fever could rise from adversity. And when Aliyah Boston spoke after the game, her words reflected the spirit of this team. You won't want to miss what she revealed.
Game 3, baby, Game 3! See you in Atlanta. Not done yet.
One more.
Jump to the chat, baby. Come on, come on.
Need that.
One more game, baby, one more game!
Fans didn't just walk into Game 2 ready for playoff basketball. They came carrying anger. The way Game 1 ended still stung with whistles that felt one-sided and moments that made it look like the deck was tilted against Indiana. People were calling it robbery. And the mood wasn't just frustration, it was disbelief. When you put everything on the line and feel like the officials tipped the scales, it's easy to lose focus.
Now this one on Lexie Hall got me riled up because this was early on in the game, and this was probably the best defense that Lexie could have played. If you watch this play here, Ryan Howard is going down, Lexie Hall's guarding her, Ryan goes behind her back, Lexie doesn't touch her because she's backpedaling the whole time, she has her hands straight up. Like, this is really good defense that Lexie played here.
Indiana wasn't only dealing with bad calls, they were also missing 5 players. The weight of that reality could have crushed them before tip-off. Head coach Stephanie White understood what was at stake. Before the game, she spoke about the missing urgency in Game 1, saying, "There's got to be desperation and focus every second you're on the court." It wasn't just talk. It was a challenge to her players.
There's a certain desperation that has to come with how you play every possession. I didn't feel like in Game 1 we played with that desperate mentality that we needed, particularly when you look at 50-50 balls, when you look at how many times, we didn't get inside the three-point line for a defensive rebound and the ball hit the floor and they were able to get it. There's got to be a desperation that you play with and a sense of urgency that you play with at all times. We didn't have that consistently for 40 minutes in Game 1. I expect us to have it here tonight.
Stephanie White wants to see her go downhill, be more aggressive offensively. This is a great matchup. Boston against Jones.
Just a fun matchup between 2 big posts with size, with good.
From the opening possession, the Fever flipped the script. They struck first, defended without hesitation, and before Atlanta could steady themselves, Indiana already had control. For the first time since 2002, the Fever went wire to wire in a playoff win. No ties, no lead changes, just complete dominance from start to finish. That's how you erase the storylines from Game 1.
This is the other Howard, Natasha for Indiana. Powers with the board, goes up, tough one and got it!
The defense set the tone. Atlanta, usually a team that thrives from the perimeter, had no room to breathe against Indiana's pressure. In the first half, the Dream went 1 for 10 from 3. By the end of the game, the numbers didn't get much better, finishing just 5 for 19 from deep and under 40% from the floor. Their rhythm was broken, their possessions rushed. Indiana dictated the pace, and the refs had nothing to influence.
Great job! That was a masterclass on the defensive end of the game. Hell yeah, ladies, hell yeah. It really was. It really was. I mean, I'm so proud of you. Stepped up to the challenge, back against the wall, and our back is against the wall every fucking game. But y'all, look, I'm proud of you. We ain't finished though, right? We ain't finished. KK, way to be ready. Yeah! The second half of your aggressiveness, it was a difference maker. What it opens up with the gravity that you create is huge for us. You gotta stay aggressive. Hell yeah!
When the buzzer sounded, the win stood as more than evening the series. It was proof that this team could shape their own destiny instead of watching it slip away. Redemption after heartbreak. But what made this night so special wasn't just one star carrying the weight. It was everyone stepping forward. For Kelsey Mitchell, Lexie Hull, and Aliyah Boston, this wasn't just another game. This was their first playoff experience on Indiana's home floor. A milestone moment made even more powerful because this franchise hadn't hosted postseason basketball since 2016. But walking into Gainbridge Fieldhouse came with pressure because Caitlin Clark was ruled out for the season. Sophie Cunningham was missing. Sydney Colson couldn't go. Chloe Beebe was unavailable. And Ari McDonald was sidelined too. That's 5 players gone before tip-off. A rotation squeezed thin in the most important game of the season. The question was obvious. Who would step into that void?
And they have allowed her in their half-court sets so far to just take open drive to the rim. There's the three. And fans didn't appreciate how good Kelsey Mitchell is, and they're certainly getting an eyeful this year. Here she goes. She's guarded by Petty, takes it right to the basket and misses. It's a hit for Mitchell.
The answer came from the one player who has been carrying Indiana's offense for years. Kelsey Mitchell didn't just show up, she owned the game. She finished with a team-high 19 points, drilling 4 three-pointers that kept the momentum rolling and forced Atlanta to chase all night long. Without Clark drawing defenders, Mitchell created her own looks and demanded attention every possession. This was her stage, her first playoff moment at home, and she delivered a performance the fans won't forget.
Kelsey, you've had a lot of moments with this franchise throughout the years. Where does leading them to a playoff win at home kind of rank among those?
Oh, man, it takes a village. I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization. So I think it took a collective group effort to be able to be here. And I think that our first win here was big for us because we've been resilient throughout the course of the year, and it was just, I don't know, it felt really good to see ourselves on top and do something great for a change. When it comes to us being resilient and have to fight off a lot of ups and downs, backs and forth, and so it felt good for us to really, come out on top tonight.
Kelsey herself said after the game that it took a village, and that's the truth. Every big shot she hit was backed by teammates who refused to fold. The Fever haven't had many chances to celebrate in recent years, but Mitchell gave the fans a reason to stand tall in Gainbridge once again. Aliyah Boston followed that with her trademark consistency. She scored 15 points, pulled in rebounds, and dished 3 assists, all while anchoring the paint against one of the league's toughest front courts. Boston wasn't flashy, but she didn't need to be. Every trip to the post reminded Atlanta that Indiana finally has a dominant centerpiece who refuses to be pushed around.
Aliyah Boston added the kind of steady production that makes her presence in the paint impossible to ignore. She scored 15 points, pulled down rebounds, and handed out 3 assists, quietly stacking stats while dictating the interior game. Against a tough Atlanta front court, she found ways to score inside while also forcing double teams that opened up looks for teammates. Every trip in the post reminded the Dream that Indiana now has a centerpiece they can't push around, even in the postseason.
Stephanie White wants to see her go downhill, be more aggressive offensively. This is a great matchup. Boston against Jones.
Just a fun matchup between 2 big posts with size, with good anything.
Boston up, under, and in.
If toughness had a name in this game, it was Natasha Howard. She poured in 12 points, grabbed 5 boards, and provided the gritty edge Indiana needed to keep momentum alive. Howard fought for extra possessions, finished around the rim, and gave the Fever exactly the kind of stability you need when rotations are short. It wasn't highlight reel material, but it was the kind of work that wins playoff games.
Both teams around that 40% mark. They didn't hit that in game 1, and that's a good way to go for Natasha Howard. Gray goes down. Good patience by Howard. Mitchell bounce pass, Natasha Howard, and it rolls in.
Howard has had great activity tonight.
And then came the surprise no one saw coming. Rookie guard Michaela Timpson, who barely played during the season, gave Indiana 9 points in just 9 minutes. She checked in with the rotations stretched thin and instantly brought energy, quick drives, fearless shots, and confidence that looked far beyond her rookie status. Those points didn't just pad the box score. They came in a crucial stretch where Indiana needed a spark.
Boston bottled up, but found Timpson. Another good pass from Boston. Great passing out of double.
Pam, before the game, you asked Steph White, how is you doing this? She looked at you and said, the core group has been resilient and flexible. We saw that towards the end of the quarter, and they continue to start the